Ozzy from Ozzy Boyds, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
I'm John Feely of Feely's Clutch, and you are watching Reptiles Unplugged.
This is Wilmer Rose from Royal Canadian Reptiles, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
Guys, it's KB Reptiles.
Team Helga.
Team Beard.
And you're watching
Reptiles Unplugged.
It's Justin from Jacob Luck Reptiles, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
Nick with Renowned Reptiles here, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
It's your boy Harry Wayne from Royal Canvas Exotics, and you're tuning into Reptiles Unplugged.
You're Triple B, and you're watching Reptiles Unplugged.
All right, what's going on, everybody? So here we are again for another Wednesday event, and it's been storming here a little bit, so there's a slight chance we have a power outage. So just as a heads up, if everything goes black for a minute, it's because all the power just went out in my house. So
it's always fun times.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
buddy.
But I guess started off official. Joel here, State 48 Exotics. My man Adam over here to I think my left, my right. I don't know. What
One of those directions. Hey, everybody. Beach Bum Exotics here.
Gosh. But
Yeah.
yeah, here we go. We like to go live on Wednesdays before our next guest, so we get to announce our next guest. And later in this here live stream, we'll be diving into that. But I don't know, how's everything else going? I'd like to see everybody. Zach's here, Combat Constrictors, Royal Canadian. Man, we got some action right here, right in the beginning, man.
Yeah. We got KB and we got Riley here. So special shout out to Riley. He's still alive, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram. wasn't doing so hot, man.
Yeah, man.
Glad to see everything's working there.
Me too. Man, scary stuff when, when that type of thing happens. So anyhow. And hey, so did you throw any pairings in there with the thunderstorm and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I wanted to, but I didn't. I guess short answer segued into a longer answer. No, I didn't. But I did. I didn't because I had just fed literally like everybody the night before, and so I was just like, well, this is just gonna have to be like, I don't think anybody's even ready anymore. Everybody's kind of back on food, and it just kind of seems like maybe the season's, I don't know, for the over for the most part right now. But yeah, that's always kind of a cool thing to do, though, is throw those snakes together when there's rain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anybody else? I mean, is that I feel like that's kind of like a common thing, right? Is that something that you do?
That's what I do. Yeah. If it's raining, then, I mean, I've run into situations like you, though, before where, like, I fed and then, like, that next day it started storming and I'm like, I don't know if I want to push it. So,
Right.
wait a little bit.
Yeah, it's a bummer because, like, out here, I mean, even there's some parts of Southern California, rain is a commodity, so to get a rain and not be able to do anything with it kind of sucks. But, what can you do?
Exactly. I know, but I know what you mean. Like, I feel like my season's kind of over too, but I've got some females that really still look like they're going to go. So I don't know. I'm feeding and still pairing. Like if the male's eating and even if the female's eating, but they're receptive to still pairing, I'm still going to do it. I'm just going to kind of see, and who knows, maybe this season will turn into more of a year round kind of season.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like too, like for me, I have like a few first time females that were going this year, and I think that like it's also like it's weird because I was looking at my records from last year, and a couple of the snakes that went last year that went this year, they literally like went around the same time, and so it's almost like finding that snake's cycle that where she's gonna go and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe pairing and continually pairing to especially some first-time breeders might not be just kind of the right way to go, I guess, with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. So just, keeping in mind not stressing out the male too much or overutilizing him and,
Right.
Giving him good time off after feedings and breedings and stuff. So,
Right.
yeah.
All Time Reptiles said, who's going to Pomona? So I feel like that's a good question to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. This guy, these
Yeah.
two guys.
Right.
Yeah,
We got we got a hotel room. So we'll be there for sure. We got it just for Saturday night, but I don't know. I may scoot down there Friday if it works out. But just up in the air if I'll be there Friday.
Right.
But for sure Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Fridays can be a little bit too much fun sometimes. So
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. It's
yeah, that Friday before Pomona is usually a almost too much fun, and then that follows into an all-day fun Saturday, and then all-night fun on Saturday night.
Yeah,
There's that.
The older I get, I recover way slower now. So I really try not to do that to myself.
Right. Yeah. It's getting ugly out there. It's getting ugly. I'm actually not looking forward to that Saturday morning. Speaking of that, Riley was saying he's working Brian's camera. I remember him last Pomona. I think that was in January. He had a lot of fun that Friday night party too.
Yeah, he had a lot of fun. The trash can next to Brian's booth did not have fun though. So.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, exactly. You just keep trash cans nearby the booth for what comes back out Friday.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know.
Yeah. But yeah, so it sounds like Nick said he's gonna be there. Who else said? Obviously Riley, since he'll be running Brian's deal again.
Yeah, All-Time Reptiles. He's gonna be there. So that'll be cool.
All time.
believe,
KB said they're gonna try and make it.
Who is
So
that?
KB said they're gonna try and make it again. So.
No way. Yeah, that would be crazy. I think Austin, Ball and Chain. I think he might be going.
Cool. Yeah. I wonder if I think Will Morrow's is going to go. I think that's what he was saying. I didn't see him chime in to chat though.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know he was going to that one. I thought everybody was going to kind of try to go for that January show. I didn't know who was going to go.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I think he's just doing January. No,
Right. And that got moved to Anaheim, right? I think that's what we were talking about last time.
The January show, that's moving to a new location.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That'll be kind of exciting to be somewhere new. Could suck or it could be great. We'll see. I'm not making it this time. Just going to Tinley. Yeah, Will just said he's going to Tinley.
Yeah. Maybe January then.
Pomona or March Tinley. Can't do both. Yeah. What about the October Tinley? Morph Mixology. I feel like the October one's a lot of fun. I mean, I haven't been to the March one.
Huge.
But the October one was crazy.
Oh yeah, Combat Constrictors just mentioned for the Canadian Reptile Breeders Expo. Billy announced his contest, so wanted to actually. Thanks for bringing that up, so that way we can shout it out. And we'll have to edit the description after this video post, and we can post the info to that. So last year, Billy ran a contest where you produce a video, basically explaining, your love for reptiles and who you are, type of thing, and you post it on his Facebook page. And then he goes through and has a selection process, and the winner of the posted videos, he flies out to the expo, gets him a hotel. You're part of all of kind of the fun happenings. There's a dinner that Billy puts on. Just a lot of cool stuff. So make sure you guys go over there. So the new Facebook is Mutation Creations Contest 2019. If you put that into Facebook. Yeah, because last year was 2018. So he did a new group this year. Yeah. Keep the videos separate. So.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be. I feel like that was a really cool thing he did last year, and I'm glad he's still. I'm glad it's like a tradition now. That's pretty cool. And what a giveaway! Like that's so cool to do something like that. Like I think that's really cool.
Yeah, last year's winner came from South Africa, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know that. I thought he came from the United States, to be honest. I had no idea it was from South Africa. Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was South Africa. I know he had a long drive, is what Billy was saying. So
yeah, barely. Yeah, that's barely long. Oh my gosh.
Nothing
Yeah.
like dry thunder.
Dude. Ugh. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. um so how's we were talking about pairing a minute ago. Do you have any new clutches that are coming out or anything like that? Like what's going on that end?
No, all my other females that I thought were going to be going either have fully reabsorbed, and I am positive they're not going anymore, or they're kind of holding on where, I mean, they're still big and plump and looking like something may happen. So I've got my fingers crossed for like an additional probably 4 pairings, and it's all of my Desert Ghost stuff. Like,
yeah. So all the stuff you really, really wanted to go.
yeah.
Yeah. That's how it goes, though. I feel like that's the woes of breeding right there.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I did get my Het Puzzle clutch, so for me, the whole season's a win with that thing.
Yeah, that's a cool clutch. That's actually an incredible clutch, and the odds you hit on that are ridiculous.
Ridiculous, yeah.
That took all of your luck too. That one clutch.
I know it really did, man. I know. Jason was saying he needs a Het Puzzle combo meal. So I was gonna put that clutch out on the open market with because it was a split clutch between Randy and I, but we had a friend hit us up who was itching to get into the project as well. So he ended up scooping up the entire clutch, other than my holdback and my buddy Randy's holdback, but everything else was gone. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to post like an update video or photos or anything. They were just gone. So
Dude, can't complain with that, man. That's quick and easy, man. Quick and easy. Yep. That's the dream right there a little bit, is getting that getting an entire project basically to somebody, which is really cool, because then they have so much to work with, which is awesome. And then all knowing like all your snakes are going to one spot and stuff like that, that's cool.
Yep. And then, so other puzzle stuff coming out this year. I've got a pastel Desert Ghost, which is Miguel's girl, bred to the Sterling puzzle. And she's still looking like she's going to go too. Right. So I have high hopes for her.
Dude, that will be a great one.
Yeah.
So do you have any eggs in the incubator right now? No,
my incubator's completely empty. I left it on just because I didn't want to be pessimistic. So, I'm trying to be optimistic, so I left it running right now.
Keep it running, then it's gonna get filled again. Just don't ever shut it off, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, how about everybody else? I know that there was some stuff going on out there while we're getting that like 15-second delay here. I feel like this is like we're in it right now. We're in the thick of it. Every day there's something new coming out. Such a good, exciting time on Instagram right now, seeing all these babies.
Oh, I know. This is really one of my favorite times of year, just seeing all the fresh sheds, from the cool clutches that you see everybody posting, and then they shed, and wow. So, love it.
Right,
love it.
Right. Yeah, I saw... What's up?
No. You first.
Oh, I was going to say, I saw, we kind of talked about last time you and I went live, we were talking about the Ultramel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I saw a leopard clown Ultramel that just came out. Did you happen to see that on Instagram?
No, I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll jump over real quick and share the screen because I have it pulled up.
Yeah, please do. I definitely want to check that out.
Here's the leopard clown Ultramels, which are just insane, right? And then on top of that, he hatched out a pastel leopard clown Ultramel.
Oh, geez.
So, crazy. I think it's Sam Ronk. I don't know if I'm butchering that last name. Ronck. If you guys haven't checked that out on Instagram, y'all should jump over there and see that, because these things are like, dude, they're insane. Like,
and look at the colors.
Yeah.
And the best part about that, it's going to hold those tones.
Right.
As it grows. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool, I feel like, to see somebody mixing in, some of those dominant genes and stuff like that with like leopard. That's crazy. You know, getting some other like non-recessive genes in there. Pretty cool.
Are we getting some reports that I'm in outer space?
I don't know. Space Adam's back. What is Space Adam? What is Space Adam?
I don't know what Space Adam is. Yep, sure does. I don't know. Oh, it happens when I have a pop-up window overlaid, or when you do, Joel. Interesting.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks for the
Didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Thanks for the heads up, guys.
it mutes you. Does it mute you or make you?
Well, no, I think they can hear me because they're saying I sound like I'm a alien or something.
Alien? Okay. Okay.
The echo when you share your screen. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess then when you share, I'll just pipe down and I won't
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah. You don't say anything. There we go.
Well, cool. Thanks, guys. Kirsty with the moral support again.
Yeah.
She's on fire tonight, man.
As usual. As usual. Combat Constrictors asked why we were trying to figure that out, though. How many snakes we have, between us in the group? Do you have a number? Do you have a number on how many snakes you have?
Oh, I got you. Okay, thanks, honey. Let's see. Like adults, I think I'm right around 80-ish animals. So I took a count the other day. I think I'm at like 86 adult animals right now. And then with babies and other species, pushing probably like around 120 or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's a substantial amount. That's full-time job stuff right there.
Right? Yeah, pretty much. And with my freaking job recently demanding that I come back into the office, Mrs. Beachbum has been a trooper. She's been picking it up. She's jumped in there, checking the hatchling rack all the time, making sure everybody's got water. So I really appreciate her stepping it up while I kind of figure out my time management now.
Right. Yeah, it's
So-
like jumping into a brand new schedule, man. Everything's different. Everything.
Yeah. Yep. But
Yeah.
how about you, Joel? What's your count?
Oh, I don't entirely know. I think last time I counted, I was at 32 total. But I just added 6 more, and 6 more should hatch out on Monday, and another 6 more should hatch out that following Monday. So I guess that, I don't know, quick math, that puts me at what, like 44-ish, somewhere in there. I don't know, 48. I'm not good at math, so I have no idea. That's why counting is tough, trying to figure out how many I do have.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like enough. I feel like I would like, we'll have one freedom breeder, the 80 windows. I can't remember the name of it. But it holds 24. And so in my like ideal world, I'd like to have another set of 24, and I'd like both of those just to be females. And then I'd like maybe 10 males that I'm rotating through those 24 females or something like that. I feel like that would be like a sweet spot to be at that number.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think that's a good ratio there. I think I'm maintaining around a 1-to-4 ratio right about now too.
right. Yeah, and I just, I assume some of those females aren't going to go every year. Give females time off and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I don't know. But Jason's at 75.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's solid.
Oh yeah.
That's actually-
Heather did take a bite from one of the Paulsani. I think it was yesterday.
No
I got
way.
home from work and I was like, oh, we need to make sure they have water because they just sit up in these tubs outside of a rack, right? My reptile room stays warm enough where they don't have any additional heating since they kind of like it in that like low 80 and at nighttime it's okay if it dips down into the 70s for them type of thing.
Right.
But they're up in this area where it's not like the easiest or most conducive to get them down and take care of them. So she was helping me out. And there's this one, 2 of my like larger females, one of them, I mean, you could walk into the room and you'll hear her tub just smack. I mean, she will hit the front of her tub over anything. Like,
Right.
Yeah. So when I went in to get the water bowl from that one, Heather just kind of put her hand in to pick it up, and that thing, wham, just whammied her right on
Smacked her.
the.
Yeah, dang. Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, it was pretty awesome because like I mean she didn't flinch super hard, right? Just like that a little jerk back of like, oh, it went to hit me, but I
Right.
mean she stayed there, took it like a champ, like yeah, it was awesome.
That is, dude. I feel like that's like the biggest secret too, is not doing the jerk away. But I don't know how you don't jerk away when a
Ugh.
snake's coming at you. Like, good lord. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah. Thug life.
thug life for sure.
Yeah. All time Sadie gave up counting. Don't ever have enough.
Oh, you don't want to go on screen to show everybody?
Well, you can't really
Can't really see it.
anymore.
I don't know if you guys will be able to see. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of is coming in. Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good little
Yeah,
bite right there. Nothing crazy.
That's the whole, wrist right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's totally a whole mouth print like right there.
Right. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh man, that sucks, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirsty got hit by the first day we brought home Bam Bam, the male retic I have. He
Oh, okay.
was dude, he was the most relaxed snake ever, and then she moved wrong or did something that scared him, and then he got her a little bit, but nothing crazy.
She shamed him, called him a rookie or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Yeah, just the public forum shaming. Like, yeah, absolutely.
You think you're the longest snake in the world? Yeah, right. Wham.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
there's that.
You were telling me at Pomona you may be looking for an additional species maybe to pick up.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking about maybe changing some things up.
I
just
keep throwing
cause-
out large species.
I know, right? Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, I kind of want something that's like small that I don't have to, have another like 8-foot, 9-foot cage for, blah blah. And then you were selling out the indigo snakes, right? The ones that
Yeah.
are like 12 feet long and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That might not be really what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah, I was telling you carpets also. I'm like, talk
Yeah,
to Riley,
carpet
get a
pythons.
carpet.
Yeah.
You're like, no, small dude. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
small, like
trying.
hognose size. Like if I can find something that's hognose size, hognose-ish in that area, might snag that up at Pomona. Not saying hognose in particular, but I do like those Mexican black king snakes, right? The MBKs.
Yeah, the MBKs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those are really cool and they're really pretty. That would be kind
Well,
of something cool to get.
Dude, totally. And speaking of the MBKs, did you watch Cusco's on his Triple B TV channel? He did Reptiles with Friends. I think it's one of his most recent episodes, if not the most recent one.
I feel like I would have to have. Who was it? Do you remember?
I feel horrible. I shouldn't have even brought it up because I can't remember
Yeah,
the
now
name.
and then now I'm making you even look more worse by asking you questions about it.
No, I feel horrible. Let me pull up a web browser and see if I can get over to it because it's a really good episode. The people that he did it with, they're relatively new within a couple years of being in the hobby. They've amassed a very diverse collection though, which is really cool.
Right. Yeah, the dragon snakes would be awesome. There was actually a couple that were for sale here in Arizona just recently at my local pet shop. Pretty expensive. They're like $800. I think they were listed for $1,000. But it took the guy that owned the site like 2 months to even get that thing to eat, and then like they have to be held at like a pretty cool temperature, and so you almost have to house them in like a wine cooler, especially like here in Arizona. So it's like,
Oh wow.
yeah, they only eat tadpoles, so I'd have to have like a fresh source of tadpoles, and then like I would have to almost keep them in a refrigerator. So like I was just like,
Wow.
yeah, man, that I don't know if I'll ever be able to own one of those here.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little bit of effort there. Here we go. I found it. So he interviewed Exotic Entities, which is a boyfriend-girlfriend pair. Kina is the one who manages the Instagram page. I believe it's her page.
Okay.
But they had an awesome pine snake. It's black. It does resemble a Mexican black king snake, an MBK.
Right.
But like it's obvious its head's a little different and stuff like that. But just as pure black, that was probably one of the first times I'd seen one of those snakes in person was on his video.
That's
so,
pretty cool. That's pretty
yeah. You know, because I mean, MBKs are cool. I like them. Everybody seems to like caught on to that and kind of has them. So if you're looking for something maybe a little bit more unusual that not a lot of people have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking, I feel like of unusual animals, maybe not unusual, I guess, but different than what we're used to in this ball python world. I feel like this would be a kind of a good time to announce the next guest, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I guess our next guest is Mr. Riley Jiminson over there. He's been kind of active in chat, giving us the tadpole information too for those dragon snakes. But yeah, we're gonna do him next Wednesday.
Right.
But yeah, super excited to have him. He knows a lot about a lot of things. So that's gonna be cool to kind of get some more insight into different animals other than just talking about ball pythons all the time.
Yeah, the guy has a ton of knowledge. He works with some awesome species. Just most recently, for me, one of, I think, like a really cool accomplishment was that he maternally incubated some carpet pythons. So I don't want to give too much away because I'm sure it'll be a topic we bring up. But there are some videos over on his YouTube page. So you guys go check out his YouTube page. Yep. He talks about that. And Riley's an awesome guy. I'm super excited, man. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm going to have him take me around Pomona if he can get away from Cusco and find me a cool snake at Pomona that I can actually take care of.
There you go, right? Yeah, it was a good thing that Riley didn't die, so we didn't have to change the announcement. You know,
right.
Thanks for keeping our show in mind, Riley, and keeping yourself alive. So.
Right, yeah. Bravo.
No, that's crazy. Life sometimes, man. It gets crazy quickly. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you're good enough to be here right now. So that's a good start. That sucks, man. I do not envy ever being ill. That's for sure.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, Will brought up Angolans. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I looked at actually Angolans on, there's a pair being sold on Morph Market actually that I was looking at the other day. Dude, I feel like Angolans would be super, super cool. Characteristics of ball python, which is, I guess, maybe not characteristics, but sort of like that same body type. I feel like they get a little bit bigger, but I feel like they have almost like a characteristic of like the retics and stuff like that, where they're like inquisitive and like looking and stuff. I don't know. So
that's
cool.
kind of been what my research has shown me too. Is they're kind of like ball pythons that eat, basically, is what.
Right. Yeah, ball pythons that eat. What a thing.
Right.
What a dream that would be.
That would be cool, though. I love the pattern on the Angolans. I think it's a really, really cool pattern. And the ones that I've touched have had kind of like a raised scale feel, right? The scales aren't really as smooth like on a ball python. They're a little more bumpy.
Yeah, like a rougher scale, like some of those like roughneck monitors and stuff like that.
Right. Yep. Kind of like that.
Yeah, and I would definitely consider a lizard species, but that was going to have to be, I feel like, at a point in my life where I'm willing to be extremely involved. Because I feel like I guess the point of that is the only like lizard species I would consider other than like a gecko, because I have some geckos, or a gecko, but would be like the Varanus, like the black dragons. Like,
oh man,
dude, like that's how you have to do it, right? So with that, like that's like taking care of a child, like you got to be very involved with that animal. Keep them tame, keep them like they can do so much. They're super smart. You have to feed them a lot. It's not like I feel like throwing in a rat, once a week maybe for the snakes. So that's just, I don't know. This space too, they take a lot of space, but man, they are pretty and they are so cool looking.
Dude, I completely agree. Yeah, I really would love to get a lizard variety, but with the work changing, that makes it even more impossible now because, you know, my snakes definitely get everyday care. Tubs are opened, waters are checked, things like that. But like, the lizards really, really, like you were saying, require a lot of attention,
Right.
especially with the larger monitors. You got to work with those things, man. Or
Yeah,
they're
I'm not. I'm not gonna
turn-
have a mean giant predator in my house.
Right.
Like that animal's got to like be 100% confident around humans. Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they
I've
live
kind
a
of
long
wanted to get a
time.
tegu, like the puppy dogs
Yeah, the
of the
tegus.
lizards.
I just hate how fat the male tegu cheeks get. For
What, you
some,
hate that? How
yeah,
could you hate
I
that?
know, right? And
They're
I
like a
know
fat
everybody.
baby's face. You just
Yeah,
want to pinch them. Be like, la, la,
I
la.
don't. Yeah, I know. I know everybody's gonna hate on me for that. That is the only thing, though. Like, if tegus didn't have that, I would be way more, I think, on board with a tegu. I think because they're so cool. They're so every single reptile show I think I've ever been to, there's always a tegu somewhere. Just a big tegu, like sitting in a cat jungle gym, just sitting
Right.
there, like, and
Just
everybody's
chilling.
walking by touching it, and it's just like, so it's like
Yeah,
that would
man.
be cool.
I remember there was this pet shop in the valley when we lived down there that had a tegu that was like the store mascot. It literally had like, they would keep doors open and it had full roamage of the whole place. It had a little bed with a heat lamp over it that it could go
Right.
chill at. It had a little potty area that like, it was trained when it went to the bathroom. It always went over in this one area. So,
Yeah.
um,
That's how leopard geckos are, or at least my leopard gecko is. They go to the bathroom in like one spot usually. It's so weird. Yeah, my leopard gecko goes to the bathroom in one spot. Her entire cage is spotless, besides one
one
little
spot.
little circle underneath. There's a hide I have like on the other side of her tank, and she only goes to the bathroom in there. It's so weird. You can't even see it. It's all done in a hide. Like she hides and does it, and then
She's a
crazy.
tidy lizard.
tidy lizard, man. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, rhino iguana would be pretty cool. I love watching Brian with his Bella.
Yeah.
She's well trained. So I've definitely, when I have more time, right, and maybe at some point if I end up being able to do this full time, I will 100% get some lizard species.
Yeah, yeah, and like I was watching the Port City podcast, Port City Pythons. I might be screwing that up, but they had the guy Toothless that owned that big black dragon Toothless. He
Oh,
was
right.
on there and he was talking about like the gestation period of those like black dragon eggs is like 9 months. It's insane. Like it's
Wow.
so long to get those.
That's a labor of love right there.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy how long it takes. So that's kind of a cool thing too.
Yeah. And that's what I love this hobby because there's so many different species out there and so much to learn, right?
Oh my gosh.
So I
Yeah.
get excited when I'm thinking about, okay, do I want to pick up a new species? And then I go research mode,
Right, yeah, you get to tinker around and read and like do all
Yeah.
this stuff. Yeah. Keeps your
It's
mind
fun.
occupied. Like,
Yep.
Yeah. Corey from Toothless. Riley, yeah.
Yeah, and the
He
croc
is,
lizard,
man.
that's
He
right.
has,
Yep.
he has some cool stuff.
Yeah, sure, man.
And then Will, you were saying you have the tree what is it? The blue tree monitors? I forgot you had those.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he was saying he's had them for 3 months. They still hate him.
Yeah.
They just
I
run
hear
with
those are
them.
super flighty though.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of read too. But what a
Yeah.
cool species also. I mean, there's
Gorgeous.
just so much out there, man.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much going on. It's just it's unlimited. And then I feel like what's cool too with like those leopard species is really getting into like cage development too, which I feel like is something I'd like to, after we were talking to Garrett in that last interview with him, talking about like really getting into the like retic enclosures and making them like, really nice and stuff like that. I think that's something cool you can really do with lizards because they use like that entire cage. Like I don't know, it's cool.
Yeah. That's what Riley was just saying. He's got a Savannah that likes to crap in one corner of the cage, which happens to be the hardest spot to reach.
Yeah, that sounds about right, right? Why would it be easy?
Oh man, I think it's funny when the animals do stuff like that. You know, it's like the snakes too. It's like you open the tub and you're like, all right, how did you possibly get the poop that high in the corner? You were
Right.
trying for that, weren't you?
Right,
You
that
really
was
were.
that was tactical, okay?
That was tactical.
Yeah, like that. That was you had intent there. That was with malice.
Right. In the court of law, we would say you
Yeah,
have intent
right.
and malice. We
yeah,
find
hit all
guilt.
of our elements, man. Yeah. Yeah, and Chris was saying the spiny tail iguanas, smaller, not as flighty, and they and bitey like the greens, not as flighty and bitey. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that would be nice too. There's
Yeah.
so many though. There's so many species of lizard that it blows my mind. Like I was in the pet store the other day, my local like reptile shop, and they had the coolest looking monitor in there, and I had never even seen it before. And I have already forgotten what it was. I took a picture of it, but I completely forgot what it was. And I've never heard it before.
Wow.
And I was just like, wow, this like it looked like like the Varanus, but it was just smaller. And so that was just like, wow, there might be something else out there other than a giant, black dragon that I might actually be into too.
Be into, yeah. I wonder what that is. Yeah. I mean, I know like the Ackies, they stayed pretty small and they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, they started talking about birds in chat, and I totally agree, KB. One day I will own a crow as well, dude. Those things,
Yeah.
I want a pied crow.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
yes,
there has been a pied pigeon at my neighbor's house in the grass. Every single morning I walk hammer, it's just sitting there, dude. It has the coolest colors, and I'm not a pigeon guy. But
right.
the colors on that like pied pigeon, I was like, I didn't even know that there was pied. So I didn't know that there was pied crows.
Yeah, literally black and white. I mean, super, super sick, man.
Yeah.
I can't remember the website that I was researching, but this dude, he trains them. So when you get your bird, it's pretty well trained, right? And then
Right.
you work with it, obviously, but he specifically trains like off leash flying with them. So like,
Right.
they could be just chilling on you. You could go out to the backyard. It may take a quick little flight around and then come right back to you. Dude,
Yeah.
I think that would just be absolutely insane.
I don't know if you follow. I've been getting so into macaws lately, but I don't know if you follow Mikey the Macaw on Instagram. And if anybody does, Mikey the Macaw, they do that same thing. They free flight all of their macaws, like they just fly away, and the macaws come back. It blows my mind. I don't even know, like that level of confidence in that animal is insane. Like, how do you let go just a macaw? Or a crow or anything like that, like, and it's gonna come back. It's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
That is crazy right there. I know, man. It's I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool to train something like that. Because I mean, the crows, the macaws as well, incredibly smart animals. If you guys don't mind a little story time.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Okay. So my grandpa and grandma, they used to live in Dallas, Oregon, and they had a couple crows that my grandpa became friendly with. Like, he would kind of toss out some food for them, and they just became familiar. Well, this one crow would follow him to work. He worked down over at the courthouse.
Right.
And literally, he'd get in his car and he'd see the crow hop into the tree in their front yard and kind of squawk at him. And he'd say, okay, see you at work. And as he pulled out, the crow would fly over to his office building, land right on a tree over by my grandpa's car. My grandpa even tried it, like, oh, maybe he's just like, maybe it's me imagining that.
Right.
They would
Yeah.
park in different places, and that crow would show up. And so he had like an identifying mark on one of his wings or something. So he knew it was that crow, right?
Right.
Well, so, everything's cool. My grandpa's loving the crow. And a couple months goes by, and the courthouse, like, the cops come by and start talking to my grandpa of, hey, all of your neighbors and there's a bunch of people around the courthouse that are reporting like thefts from their car, like the little screw caps for your air nozzle,
Right.
the hood ornaments. If you put the little balls on the antenna, like
Yeah.
all of those types of things were getting stolen anywhere like my grandpa would go, right? And so my grandpa's like, no way. Like, okay, when I go home, I'll check out the crow's nest. So he climbs up in the tree in the backyard, and they had built a pretty decent sized nest up in the tree up there. And lo and behold, it was full of everybody's stuff.
You have
This
to
thing
be
had been
kidding me.
stealing for
You have to be kidding me. This macaw was casing everybody around him.
Yeah,
Like,
the crow, man. It was
yeah, the
So-
crow knew he was gonna take him to a good spot. We just followed him. He's like, "Oh, dude, we're gonna nail this nest right now. I got this guy. I know a guy." He
right.
just
I know
followed
a
him
guy.
around.
He takes me to the goods, man.
Yeah.
Just follow him.
That's ridiculous.
Uh,
Gosh, yeah,
yeah.
crows are crazy smart though. I mean,
Crazy
I've heard, stories where like, like farmers go out and they don't want their crows there, and anytime they're out there, the crows don't care, and then the second they show up with a gun, all of a sudden the crows leave. And it's like, how are you guys registering just even that? It's I don't know. It's crazy, man, what they're capable of.
Dude, KB just said that their African gray called them on Google Home
I
one
know.
time.
What the heck? Are you kidding me? It called you? I heard African greys like can talk like humans though,
Yeah.
mimic anything.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. You train them well. Oh my goodness, dude, that must have been funny getting that call from home, and you're like, well, wait a second. Everybody that's at home's with who's calling me right now?
Right. Why is my house calling me? Good Lord. That's crazy. Yeah, that's cool. So I heard that like birds though can't do like smells, like house smells and stuff like that. Like you have to be super careful about that. I don't know if anybody on here would know an answer to that.
What do you mean, like smells? Like, you mean like fumes?
Like scents, yeah, scents and
Oh,
fumes and stuff
yeah,
like
like-
that. You have to be careful about.
Right. I've heard certain like oils, essential oils and stuff are really bad for them, and certain candles, other
Right.
things like that. Certain cleaning products I've heard, but yeah, I can't burn Teflon. Yeah, so
Can't
you
burn
got to get
Teflon.
rid of your non-stick pans.
Right. Yeah. Hey Google, call mom.
Right. Grand Crew said his grandpa had an African gray that would cuss at the TV during football games. I wonder where he learned that from.
Yeah, right. Wonder where that came from.
Yeah, that's what KB just said. Yeah, no candles, no fumes of any kind, Febreze, deadly things like that. Yeah,
Yeah, crazy. That's crazy.
Bath and Body Works candles don't count.
Well, I don't know. I think they might. I think they might be in there somewhere.
We'll just tell you yes, Kirsty, for right now.
Yeah.
And then,
When I
later
come home
on.
with that macaw, you know.
In case we've had anybody new join in the last 15 minutes or so, wanted to re-announce who our next guest is. That's one of the main points why we do these in between Wednesdays. So we have Riley Jimison on next week with us. If you guys don't know who Riley is, make sure you check out his YouTube channel. We'll get that posted in the description after this posts. He's got awesome content. The guy's amazing. He works at a zoo as another kind of cool little tidbit.
Yeah.
I don't want to, give too much away because he's got some awesome stories. So next week, same time, same bat channel, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern. And it'll be here, Reptiles Unplugged.
Yeah, can't wait. That's gonna be fun. Getting some schooling on some other stuff outside of our breeding world. I feel like
Oh, man, expanding our knowledge base. That's what it's about. So
getting me to spend more money on random things, Because now I'm sure he'll convince me that something's awesome, and then I'll be in Pomona, and then
Right.
he'll be like, "Oh, you know what they have here?" And I, like, "Oh yeah, we should go look at that."
take my money.
Yeah.
That's what I always say too.
All right. See you later, Will.
All right, good night, Will. Well, all right. We definitely try not to hold people too long.
Yeah.
So kind of.
With Will leaving, I guess we'll wrap up too, right? I guess.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
how it
Will
goes.
just ended it. Will just ended the live stream. So
We're blaming Will. Way to go, Will.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, so thanks everybody for coming, obviously. And then next week, same time, same place, we'll be here with Riley. Get some questions ready. He's got some knowledge. So go check his YouTube videos out because I'm sure you could drum up some questions from him. And I think that kind of covers it. What do you think?
Yeah. Definitely. Well, so I hope to see everybody at Pomona that's going to be able to make it for the summer show. That's our next most exciting one. Reminder to check out Billy's new Facebook group, Mutation Creation Contest 2019. Get your videos uploaded for a chance to win an amazing trip up to the Canadian Reptile Breeder Expo taking place in September. And yeah, that's all I got, man.
All right, man. Well, thank you again, everybody. I hope everybody enjoys their night, and we'll see y'all later.
All right. Good night.